Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel. We're looking to what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com. Rosie and Karina News Digest. Rosie Insights started about 7 years ago as Rosie Psychic Investigator, looking at news related to the Trump administration. Over the years, I have followed the practice of doing research about what's going on in the news, making that a core feature of my content. As of November 7th, 2024, I have had Karina as my daily guest slash partner for the series after the election. We are committed to working as a pair on this series at least until this election situation is resolved. Karina lives in Arizona, loves crystals, and is a certified aromatherapist. She is working on her website for private client healing appointments. We'll share her info once it's ready. Karina started as Rosie's, meaning my client, about 5 years ago, and then we became friends and started sharing the conversations we were having privately already. This channel is about looking at current news and events through an intuitive lens and sharing intuitive information. This content is for entertainment purposes only. Trust your intuition. This channel is just one source. Do your research, trust your intuition. You are the master of your own beliefs. What we won't do: conform. We do not conform with what other channels say necessarily. This is an independent channel, as is theirs. If you have a question about what you heard on another channel, ask that channel. On to today's episode. If you like this video, subscribe and press like. Thank you for watching.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Karina, psych investigators. Okay, so I was talking to Karina. Karina's here.
Hello.
And it's always like there's always a discussion before we talk, and then I was telling Karina maybe we should just do one at a time, like right.
Mhm.
So this case, so some people wrote to me already about this. So Fani Willis was disqualified from Trump's election interference case. So let's do the protection, okay?
Yep.
I'd like to ask
Mhm.
for protection, beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources that create the good and only the good. And so it is. Okay. So what's going on with this story of Fani Willis being disqualified in the Georgia election interference case? So let's just ask. So what's going on with that story? Okay, before I say the answer, I think that I'm not too worried, honestly, but let me see what's happening to her in the next couple of years. Let's see, Fani Willis, in terms of the Trump cases. Let me ask. Okay, so what's happening with Fani Willis next? Okay, so should I
Go
go?
ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
No, I saw that it's such a weird it's a weird image. So those toys that you can kind of like do this and they flop
Mm-hmm.
down like a, so she's at a table, like imagine if it's me, then they do something like there's somebody that pushes her down like this, as if
Mm-hmm.
she's a rubber toy or something, and then she's down, but then she comes back up. So it shows me that of course they are terrified of Trump. Like the Georgia is has its
Mm-hmm.
issues, right?
Yep.
I feel like they're going to do this, but I don't feel like it's, then I see that once the Trump thing is exposed, then she comes back
Mm-hmm.
because it's proven that he's a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean criminal. This is like the level of criminality that he's been, working with. He's so, it's like that he was basically treasonous. Then it comes back or it's invalidated, whatever decisions they made. That's just my
Right.
sense. I don't
Right.
feel like, I see that she eventually gets bigger even,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
that's what I see. That they're moving to, right, stop any
Mm-hmm.
investigations into Trump. But
Yeah.
I don't, so that's what I picked up. What do you pick up
Yeah.
for that?
Same thing. And I lived in Georgia this
Hmm.
most of this time,
Hmm.
and they did everything they could
Hmm.
to get rid of her, disqualify her, anything they could. But you know what? I saw the same thing. It was like I was shown up until this point, or actually even till the inauguration, is she's down, up, and she goes away.
Hmm.
And but instantly there's no freak out, no fear, because same thing. A couple months later in springtime, she popped back up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I heard it's all open all over again. Here we go.
Hmm. Hmm.
So she'll be back.
Hmm. Okay.
And they are extremely fearful of Trump in Georgia because those of us who know those characters in Georgia, they are all guilty.
Mm.
They have done exactly what he wanted to. They all did what they were supposed to do in 2016, 2020, but couldn't quite get over all the corruption that Trump wanted them to do, because he just kept wanting them to do more and more until they finally got to the point where they were being investigated.
Mm.
Then once they were started to be investigated, you could see in Georgia how they stopped this and stopped that and stopped. They
Mm.
were so petrified, they didn't know which direction to move. Do we serve Trump? Do we serve the law? So now they're all going to get their comeuppance here. They're
Mm.
petrified of which direction to go to because they
Mhm.
don't know if Trump's coming back in.
Mm. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's it, right? That's what we got. Okay.
Yeah,
So let's go to the next subject.
just act like you're walking down.
Okay. Hello? What's going on? What?
Rosie went downstairs for a minute.
Oh, what happened? No, no. So here is like it's complicated. I don't quite know how to move it along. Sorry. GOP strikes a new spending deal that includes disaster aid but raising the debt limit. So, okay, so now we know that Elonia,
Yes.
Felonia was like all over the place wanting to block all of this. Somehow, I guess it could happen because now there's this thing that happened. So what is going on with this with the budget? Because of course, as we know, don't never like I don't think anybody's thinking otherwise. Is that Elon Musk wants to create chaos and create make the government collapse basically. It's not
Mm-hmm.
right. But what
Yeah.
happened here? It looks like he was not consulted. Ah, so what's happening with this? So is this gonna? Are we gonna have a? Oh, it's saying yes. I gotta immediately. I guess we're gonna get a. Is this going to pass? Yeah. Why do I get this?
Yeah.
I get like immediately. Wow. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you know what I'm getting? It's true, maybe? Huh? Could it be? No. You're like, Rosie, he got the memo, is what I got. Oh, memo? There's a memo? We're going around, going around, going around. Is that right?
Like he was
Unbelievable.
notified that he better back off, kind
Something's
of thing.
going to happen. Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Mhm.
Because that's it. That's it. We were talking earlier when I heard about this, I could hear Joe. cussing. And I told Rosie, usually Joe doesn't do that too much. I have heard him do it before, but oh, this didn't set well at all. How
So
dare this guy think that he
okay,
can
so
destroy us?
no, really, but seriously, what happened? Like, what happened? Let's see. I see there's a letter. It shows me there's a Rose. Yes, it did happen. Trust us, it happened.
Yeah, I hear cease and desist kind of thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That was fast, huh? 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 So, so wow, something they like. You know how I haven't used cards lately, but it's a letter. There's a letter. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So wow, wow, wow. Huh? Oh, letter. So okay, so then let's see here. Donald Trump endorsed it, but the news caught Democrats by surprise Thursday afternoon. So now it's 4:32 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. So this is just came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So oh. Now really, so what's going on? Okay, what's happening with Mike Johnson? Maybe this is the question. Can we ask that question?
Yeah, that's actually a good
Does
question.
What does he know? I mean, no, maybe that's not the right. So what's happening with Mike Johnson with his whole budget situation? Let's just ask that first. What is happening with Mike Johnson and this whole budget situation? I get shh.
Yeah.
Wow, Karina, I get that he knows that he was told that. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Well, I think, I've always felt he knows a lot more and he's actually already cooperating kind of thing
Yeah.
for him.
Oh,
Has
but
been for quite a
why?
while.
That's right. But why?
So he does know.
Okay, and the good thing, but I think it's in a way it's good to not because normally I'll be like, "Where's the news? Let me check. Is there anything updates or something?" But now, let's just because it's kind of interesting. This I did not read the article, just the headline really. But where is Elonia on this? Elonia, not the crying corner.
Yeah,
Elonia.
he's not happy.
So what's going on with Elon?
He's
Elonia? Is it sad about it?
oh, he's not
Oh,
he's mad. He's mad.
oh,
They should be
okay.
bowing to me.
Oh
Do they
yeah.
not understand?
Wow. Elon got was kind of interesting. You know, David Sachs.
Yeah.
I was close to him. Who had the job. He's like, David, what is going on, David? They're not doing what I told him. Can you talk to the Russian, talk to them, ask what the hell? But I feel like it's almost as if I think in the back of his mind he's like, wait, could it could it mean? But he's not even allowing that to go through his mind because
Mm-mm.
it's like, no, but that. And then David's actually like, come on, Elon. At this stage, no, they're not going to do anything about it. Do you think they will? No.
Yeah.
No, it's too late. They're too scared of us. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
interesting. So wow, very interesting, Corina. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I got a very big thumb and I see Biden laughing.
Yeah.
Okay. So wow, wow,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Same
So
thing.
so that's it, right? About this part of the news, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's much
All right.
more.
So let's move to the next subject. Oh, hi. Oh, Rand Paul floats most Musk for speaker. Rand Paul, remember Rand Paul? I hadn't seen him in a while. Remember, I wish I was making it up. Remember how he was transporting letters from Bloody P to Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, not he is. Oh, has a suggestion. The unconventional suggestion, really, from one of the least conventional senators comes amid a conservative revolt over government funding legislation. Oh, does he have a plan? Wow, look at this. It's so gross. This man that the picture of this guy is just so, and it's sort of like what a joke. He wasn't. What the hell are you even doing? So what's happening? First, what's happening with the.
I gotta tell you a funny image that I had first.
Mhm.
do you
Tell me.
do you ever remember Rudy Giuliani when he was speaking and his kid was they actually did an SNL skit on it
Yes.
with Chris Farley and
Mhm.
he was hanging all over his dad while he was trying to speak and dad It was years ago. Rudy, if
Okay.
you looked at it, and I just got an image of Elon Musk. If he was the speaker of this house, his kid would be doing the same thing on the Senate floor.
Oh my
Dad,
God.
Dad. So no, but that's never going to happen, people. That was just a funny image that Spirit decided to share with me.
Okay, so what's this? So tell me what about this concept? Could it happen? Elon as Speaker of the House? So is Elon Musk going to be like Spirit is like ah.
See, Chris Farley. No, not going to happen.
No, and I'm because I'm trying to get okay, good. I'm trying to get something here. Where is it? So I am get okay. I don't want to again. When I mention dates, take it easy because dates or whatever can be flexible. But I'm getting this is the last full week when Elon Musk got to entertain himself with these ideas, or where it was like he was a thing. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
That this is the last week, like in terms of this whole. I don't know. And that's what I just see that it's like the past. It was going to be like, oh, remember when this was a thing
Mm-hmm.
when they were talking about this. Uh,
That's what it kind of felt like this morning. Remember, it feels like the past a little bit. Like his days are numbered.
and I see that wow, and I see wow. We know this is not a. You don't have to be a psychic to know that the things that Rand Paul did, right? And remember, guys, that the story of J- McCain, John McCain,
Mm-hmm.
as he was retiring, he said that Rand Paul is paid by Putin, and Rand Paul walked away. He didn't answer, right? He didn't say anything. We
Right.
know, I mean, we know the story, right, Rand Paul. So what I'm getting is that there's a gun to his head, metaphorically speaking, to go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and say it. You have to make this statement, and that he's at this point. I'm not saying that he's innocent because he's not, but it's under duress is what I'm getting. That he has to make this statement at
Yeah.
this
From
point.
his boss.
That's right. Whichever the messenger is, right? So
Right.
he's been on it for such a long time, right? He's been
Right.
working for them for a long time. So so that's it.
Yes.
So
And it would
okay.
behoove them if he was speaker. So of
Mhm,
course it's coming from that his boss.
mhm. But I see, but it's interesting. I feel like Rand Paul really is like really like, oh my God, oh my God. So okay, so
Yeah. Well, you know what, Rosie, I keep always get that they are more afraid of Leon than they are Trump because, when I look at Trump, I feel like I could kick his feet out from under him, he'd be gone. Granted, I know he's got all the ties with Russia and all that,
mm,
but he feels like he's at the end of his reign. Leon does not. He feels like a megalomaniac narcissist. He's scary to everyone.
mm,
And he's the type that I think they know behind the scenes, he will do whatever it
mm,
takes to
mhm,
keep himself in that position.
mm, mm, mm,
He
mm,
doesn't care about anything or anybody. He
mm,
will do whatever it takes. And I think that scares the bejesus out of all of them, worse than Trump.
mm, mm. Oh, okay, okay. So interesting. Yeah. So okay. Wow, wow. So okay, okay.
Yeah, more reason to get him out of there now.
That's right. So okay, so all right. So let's go to the next topic.
Yes.
Now I want to address some what feels like a little bit like disinformation. This is from the New York Post. It's a right-wing newspaper, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the right loves to say, um, the right-wing media loves to say that New York, just like San Francisco, oh, it's a horrible city, it's a mess, this and that. So the governor asked, she's a Democrat. She asked for more National Guards troops for the subway because there's issues with the subway, I guess. But then somehow people started contact. I live in New York. I live in Manhattan. I know, like, I walk around, I know what's going on. So the fact that people then start sending me, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Whatever. It's like, what the hell is going on? Because this thing is this, whatever this is following the exact talking points of the right-wing media. Does it make
Mhm.
sense? So I want you guys to think about it. Like what what the hell is so I don't this is just that's what it is. So the story is that she announces to I guess I had to look it up because people were saying all of these things to me.
Mhm.
So the story is that she's adding 250 more for the subway. So I don't so then it becomes like this is so it's just like this weird story, like I said, and when people bring things to me, I have sometimes to look it up because I don't know what the source of the information is. Okay, so let me just
Right.
look up. Is there anything going on in New York? I'm here. Okay, but let's just see for the sake of fairness,
Right.
what's going on? Is there anything happening in New York? And they're like, no. It's like that's it. Right? It's saying yes. It has more to say. It has more to do with the source. Like check your source. Does it make sense? It's kind of
Yes. Yes.
because you could say, well, it's true that she's sending troops, but not for the reasons you think necessarily. Doesn't make sense. And it's
Right.
so there's this whole information, like I said, information warfare. I don't feel like I don't pick up anything like that, Corinne. I don't feel do
No.
you pick up any?
N-
I don't pick up any because you know what it is? There's like a lot of homeless people. There's a lot of situations happening, but I don't feel like under some sort of threat or terrorism or anything like that. No. In
Mm-mm.
fact, less, a lot less
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
made of
And the
believe.
first thing I heard was Rosie would know she's there. She would see it.
Or right.
You would pick it up if it
Hmm.
was happening.
That's right. Because guys, and I remember during COVID, it was kind of scary because there was a lot of boarded up stores because there were some, some vandalism, pretty serious vandalism, people burning things and everything like that. But that is not at all the vibe now. So, okay,
Mhm.
so just to clarify, and this is again, I warn people a lot of times to just double check this whenever you hear something that sounds strange, double check the sources.
Right.
And if it triggers fear in you, you have to then it's yet another reason to ask and to rethink because whenever something is fear mongering to me feels like it's always a red flag. So
Hmm.
wanted to
Hmm.
address it. Okay. Just wanted to address. And if something had in fact happened, I would have said something, right? But it's
Yes.
not.
And if it indeed does happen, you'd be the first to tell
Mhm.
everybody.
Right, right. So, okay, all right. So let's move on to the next. Okay, so now also got some messages about the people concerned about the economy. Oh my God, is something gonna happen? So, but before we get started with this, I want you to know that the right wing, especially as you know, Elon Musk and such, they have been essentially preaching for crash. Okay,
Hmm.
so you have to remember when you hear things nowadays, because of all the information warfare environment, that this is what they're pushing for. Okay, and and also parallel to this, because I followed this very closely, the the crypto people who are far right, and I think scammers for 99.9% of them,
Hmm.
they're all say, oh, take your money out of the stock. This is so common that this is because I follow all of this. So they say, oh, take your money out of the stock market because so that people will then, if it crashes in their, it's a fantasy they have, right? The
Right.
stock market will crash according to them, and then the only choice is crypto. Oh, crypto comes and takes over or whatever it is. Okay, so that's the fantasy.
Yeah.
So this is the origin of this chatter about the stock market in that regard. Okay, and again, before we started the question, being aware that that's the goal of Elon Musk, basically.
Right.
And
Hmm.
so that's now because then it's always like when people come to me with fear-based questions, it's always a little hard because that's not how I think or how I approach things. But I
Right.
wanted to give you this context before I ask. So I can't ask, oh, is it true that it's all these horrible things are going to happen? It's not how how you ask questions, but we can ask, what's going on with the U.S. economy? Is there anything out of the ordinary? Or let's say the stock market. Actually, let's just ask about the stock market since that's basically the question. So, what is going on with the U.S. stock market? Is there anything abnormal that anyone should be worried about? Okay, so okay, okay,
Go
I'll
ahead.
just say it. So I see that there's a pedal that's pressed, and I
Hmm.
see it's the Biden. It's like as he makes an announcement there could be a little bit of a shakeup, but it's a shakeup of the things that are falsely overheated. Because,
Right.
by the way, this is the pattern of all the bubbles and all the scams. They create an impression of, oh, things are so big, everything is so great, or whatever, so that people could put their money in, and then they leave, they exit. So what I see is that actually those people that anything things are too risky. That usually includes crypto and so anything overvalued and
Hmm.
too risky. And this is not most people's portfolio. Okay, to just so
Right.
most people, the large majority of people don't have to worry about this at all because they're not investing in anything high risk. And high risk is not something that anybody, I think, should be investing in
Right.
who doesn't have money to, because the rule of investing for high stakes investing is that you can only it's not gambling. You should
Yeah.
only invest in that, take huge risks on things that you can afford to lose. And
Exactly.
and scammers and high risk schemes prey on people who say, "Oh, your life is gonna change tomorrow if you put your money in this thing." And it's like, think about it. If when I was there was years ago, I remember somebody approached me through this channel, and I had worked at financial institutions, so I we receive all the research reports and all that. So the person started telling me about I was like, well, tell me, do you have any credible information with uh any papers, anything? And then they didn't have, it's like, and I said, have you put any of your own money into this? How much and what's the yield? And they'd said, no, I have not. And so this is the thing. This is how you ask. If an opportunity is so great, then why aren't you taking it for yourself? Why are you selling it to somebody else?
Hmm.
So why are you what are you getting out of it? You should always ask. So this is
Right.
one of the situations where all those over, and I think honestly that all the companies that Elon Musk is involved in are very involved with this frothy market. A lot of the valuations completely detached from the fundamentals. So that's what I feel like. If
Yes.
there's a shakeup, it's the shakeup in the AI bubble and in those crypto thing bubbles. So
Exactly.
I don't feel like it's unhealthy. I think it's actually quite healthy. But the people like Elon Musk are the ones taking advantage of this, the super wealthy,
Hmm.
because they can buy and sell and they can manipulate the sentiment to a degree. And they
Yeah.
can also have wash trading. There's different things that they may be doing to try to manipulate their positions, right? Manipulate
Exactly.
so that they can make money. But I don't feel like it's anything
Mm-mm.
super super serious. I think you would be serious if they got, let me ask this, maybe
If
another
they,
way.
yes, they got
Is
charged.
Elon Musk going to get what he wants in this? Okay, does it make sense? Is Elon Musk
Yes.
going to create the
No.
outcomes for the markets that he wants? Because that would be the outcome. So is Elon Musk, and if so, why? What's going to happen with Elon Musk's? I see he's pushing it. He starts to push things, and then he gets he gets handcuffed. So
Yeah. Hmm.
he will push it, but I don't think it's going to be stopped. That's my sense.
Yeah.
I don't know
He's
what
going
you.
to push it till the last minute he can push it.
Mm-hmm,
And for him, a stock market crash is delicious, is what I heard. He thinks it's delicious
mm-hmm,
because he can manipulate, he can harm. I don't know, these guys get their jollies off watching people suffer, which is really sick,
mm-hmm,
but that's what it would do. So for, you know, the right wing to say, take your money out, that's beneficial for all of them.
mm-hmm,
So don't fall for stuff like that. And, you know, once again, I'm going to say, like when Rosie and I were talking, if you have funds in the stock market, more than likely you work with a financial manager who has years of experience doing that. Trust those people. If you're at an age where your stock market is at risk, then they're not doing it correctly. You need to have somebody looking out for you that puts you in safe funds. And they've been doing this, people that have been doing it for years know these kind of things exist. And I'm like Rosie, I do see a correction coming, but it's exactly what I just said. It's a correction. It's not a complete crash or downfall. But once things get corrected with our new president and things are moving forward, that will all pick up again and pick up in ways that we can be joyous about.
Mm, okay. All right. Okay. So that's it, right, Karina? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all right. So just let's move on. I think there's a one or two more things. Okay. Let's just move to the next. Right. Okay. So also, I got a lot of messages about this interview of Biden with Midas Touch. Now, Midas Touch, they are not necessarily addressing what's going on with the election. And it's
Mm-mm.
not because of that necessarily. It's just that to me, I'm not glued to whatever Biden is saying right now. I'm going with the intuition and what we're seeing that like what we are watching out for is the actual event, is not like the micro signal that Biden is giving or not. Okay,
Right.
okay, so that's and of course the situation is so serious and dire that they would never say something publicly until
No.
the right time. So let me just get like what is going on with Biden, what is going on behind the scenes and what's going on with the interview. Just a quick uh and I see that he's like holding the cards
Yeah.
like close to his chest. Oh yeah, no, that's great. That's great. He knows there's what he can talk about and what he can't. And
Yeah.
he's aware of it and that's what he's doing. So that's
Yeah.
that's what I get.
Yeah.
That's what
Same
I
thing. Same
get.
thing. He can't say anything.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. So all right, so what else? Anything else that we should we that's right. So don't look. Don't look for confirmation, he's saying, because it's not coming until
Yeah.
event
Yeah.
happen.
Exactly. Don't hang on every word people say
Mm-hmm.
and try to read too much
And
into it. Like, they're not saying anything. They're
yeah,
not telling
and
us.
I feel like again the feeling I get here is keep the faith and practice faith in the word. In other words, expect the right outcome according to what you believe, right? Like, doesn't make sense. It's sort of like it's not that you're like, oh please, but it's sort of like this is how I am. I am trusting all of
Yep.
this, and I'm not like, oh my God, is it out yet or something? Because it's the type of thing that if it's 100% or nothing. And also, this is why, and I feel like again, when I deal with whatever Elon Musk is saying, or sometimes reading some comments where people are super anxious, that is not getting us closer to anything. So it's just
Mm-mm.
it's the environment is so delicate that I think it's best to just turn off if you can
Yes.
until things change. So
Yeah.
okay.
Otherwise, you're just going to create anxiety for yourself because you're
Mhm,
hanging on every word that
mhm,
he says or Musk says or
mhm,
anybody else says. And all it's doing is creating that
mhm,
internal fear, internal doubt,
mhm,
all of that. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself.
mhm,
Not only is the world being tested, but so are we as individuals.
mhm,
And I think, Rosie and I always go back to this. It's right now we're being tested to keep the faith. We're
mhm,
being tested to trust. We're
mhm,
being tested to, go inside, do your own research, listen to your gut. So don't let all those little details get under your skin.
mhm, mhm. Yes. So
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. All right. So is that it, Karina? Anything else?
Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, I'm looking at Biden's face right there. And for some reason,
Mhm,
his face to me, his I can't say which side it's to me it's on the left side, but his one eye kind of closes a little bit more, and I can
mhm,
kind of relate to that. My eye does the same thing. The little closes a little bit more, and for some reason I just get this look on his face. It's another shit eating grin kind of thing, that and it's funny because from him I heard, I have a secret.
Mm, mm,
Usually the other ones are saying that,
mm,
but
mm,
that's what I get from his face.
mm,
I have a secret.
mm,
So he knows what's about to come.
mm,
That to me, his face is,
mhm,
it's not full of distress.
mm, mm,
I don't see
right,
distress in his face.
mm, mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. It's just so take one day at a time. Really, is where we are.
Yeah.
And it's
That's all
saying,
we can do.
and it's telling me this, Rosie. I know you want to give information to people and such, but so much of it is unprecedented that there's no way of even predicting it or explaining exactly how it's going to go because it's so new. It may
It's
be
so new.
completely off, like off
Yep.
maybe off anything that you thought isn't off the charts, but like,
Unprecedented times,
hmm
uncharted waters. Every single time I hear the same thing every single time because we are.
hmm
We've never been down this road before, people. Never.
hmm
We've been tested in many different ways, but not like this.
that's right. That's right. So,
Not like this. And, you know, anybody who watches baseball knows it comes down to the ninth inning, three out, two
hmm
outs,
hmm
bases loaded. It's just that kind of thing. It's
hmm
going to come down to that last minute feeling because it almost has to with the way it has to time out.
hmm
So we just have to, always practice that patience right now.
hmm
And again, it can be completely something different than we've thought we'd see.
hmm
Laws may be different than we thought what we could do.
hmm
It's just different times.
hmm yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. No. No. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So that's it for today. It's a pretty light day, I guess. We're just covering what's out there, right? I think it's,
Yep.
and then we'll come
And
back
it's okay to
tomorrow.
have a nice light day.
That's right. Okay, it's good. It's all good. Okay, so have a good one, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Hello. Okay, so one thing forgot, forgot that we had to talk about. So
Bless
this is something like that's kind of so scary, right? That person.
you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's a person in the UK named Nigel Farage. Now, Nigel Farage is an old character. He's connected to Brexit. He was one of the, I think, the central figures of Brexit.
Yeah.
There's another quote unquote movement that has a lot of Russian, like Russia, pro-Russia characters,
Mm-hmm.
and he was one of them. So he's still around in the UK, and now that the UK has had for more than a decade a conservative government, and now they have a Labour government. And now Elon Musk comes and wants to give $120 billion to this guy, Nigel Farage, who is not, he's a real fringe character. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same playbook, it looks like. So
Exactly.
what's gonna happen? So what is gonna happen with both the Elon Musk's donation to Farage? Is it gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And what's gonna happen in the UK? So, right? Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen? What's going on with Elon Musk? He wants to, what's happening with him? Is he going to be able to? So I see the image of Elon Musk with the like puppet, the puppet fingers with it, and he's like, I'm gonna own the world. I want to create the governments that do whatever I want. So then he goes to try to donate the money. Also, by the way, it- for people who are not very aware what's going on in the UK vis-a-vis Elon Musk, he was pushing. There's these far right uh, characters that were even arrested because of inciting violence. And I forgot exactly, there was this like because of immigrants for towards immigrants.
Yeah.
And then, and so Elon Musk was debating, was attacking the UK government, all of these things. So then the next thing is doing this. So then I see that he's like, oh yeah. And I see that I then I get this explanation is that of course the UK is helping Ukraine a lot. And he works for Putin, right? Elon Musk does.
Right.
At the end of the day,
Right.
he's following Putin's orders. And he's so then he's going to give he wants to give money to this guy. But then I see that what ends up happening is that the UK is putting more guardrails and is saying blocking. And then I saw
Right.
there was news even on Bloomberg that the UK government is considering changing laws to make it hard for something like that to happen. And then I see that as he's doing this, like he was in the position where he was holding the world, right? Like from like this, that the classic image of the puppet master.
Yeah.
But then he starts first they cut
Uh-huh.
one of the whatever ropes. And then he gets as he gets more power, he gets heavier and heavier until he sinks.
Yeah.
And I think it's like he wants to do he that's it. He wants world domination, obviously. But
Yes.
don't I think people are catch I mean he's so dangerous really at this point. There was I remember when he was just another person, like some tech guy.
Exactly.
He became
Exactly.
Mr. Evil, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Evil.
And
So
we've allowed that to happen. We created that,
mhm,
we've allowed it to happen. We've
mhm,
created it. And it's interesting. I saw him too with a book.
mhm,
Um, and I got the same, how they used to call him a little black book. So he had this little black book, which, they usually hide. And
mhm,
he was going through it. And it was like country after country after country. And
mhm,
he's making a checklist of the countries he's going after and what he's going to do in each country to own it. And
mhm,
then all the countries are connected. It was the whole world. He is after world domination.
mhm,
I mean, this guy is just amazing. So, but on the other hand, I didn't see it happening either. That it showed me it was like almost like you. It was a spider web for me, and the
mhm,
spider web was like the string, like your strings. Only the spider web was being
mhm.
dismantled. So he's not going to get away with it either. They're watching him, and most other countries are now so aware that they're going to already start implementing things that will
Mhm.
stop him before they even gets too far.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it's gonna take that long because really he's not an elected official.
No.
And he's also not providing something like water or electricity that is like that's why, for example, Russia can be has had so much power in Europe because they were providing gas.
Right.
So to for example Germany and by the way we haven't talked about Germany but next time maybe because there's
Yes.
already that mess over there with the government. But the point is like I don't feel like it's I just see that he got too big for his breeches.
Yep.
And I see it shows me I say that sometimes that my favorite book when I was growing up was this book of Greek myths and it's the Icarus. I remember there was one with Icarus,
Icarus. Yep. He's
right?
yeah.
With the wax wings got too close to the sun and melted himself. So something like that to him
That's
is
exactly it. It's so funny because my son always tells me that. Mom, he's like Icarus. He's going to fly too close to the sun.
that's right. So but I see that quickly once and I see once he's clipped and I think it's here probably, then it's like
Oh, yeah.
poof, 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 they cut it, and that's it. And then becomes, oh, remember that guy? Kind of like it's like when you think about it, it's like is it like Bernie Madoff, but way worse. Bernie Madoff compared to him is like Mother Teresa because
Wow.
he defrauded. Okay, hold on a sec. He defrauded people that were. This is my alarm. Okay, okay, that was okay. So so anyway, so he defrauded people that were like some people lost everything, but it was a relatively small percentage of the population. With Elon Musk, he's a fraud. Everything about him is fraudulent, right? And then go in the treason aspect and the even fakeish billionaire because part of it, I think a lot of his money is fake. It's
Oh,
all
yeah. Yeah.
speculations.
Yeah.
So,
Like it is with most of them.
mhm,
Trump's not wealthy like he says he is either. It's inflated
mhm.
as well. It's like these guys just kind of inflate their wealth to their to what they need to do.
Oh, and I'm
So
getting also that Elon saying Elon Musk is, the whole age of Aquarius thing, the Pluto in Aquarius. It's saying that he represents the Pluto in Capricorn at the highest, and as he sinks, it represents the crash of the whole era of Pluto in Capricorn, the power of these people. And then saying he has to crash because the world has changed and he doesn't belong in it anymore in that way, as I think.
no,
So,
exactly. It, his his ugliness is
mhm.
not acceptable anymore.
Yes, yes. Wow, so very interesting. Okay, very cool. So that's it, right, Corinne? I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
for
glad we came back and covered that. Yes.
yes. Wow. No, that's good. That's good. So, all right, all right. Okay, so again, say goodbye again.
Bye.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay.